Did you do something with that money? You or your sister?
Tuesdays, is all really forgiven?
What account did it come from?
The Crier Company.
What the Tyler is going on?
Sir, it's getting worse.
What the hell did you do? What did you do?
You haven't seen hell yet, son. You'll see.
Where will you be Tuesday night?
Do you know how angry I am with your mother? How I want to take the law into my own hands? Then do it.
All right, have not fans, you just saw the preview for next week's episode On the Edge, airing June 11th. Now, I gotta say, and I'm recording this before my episode review from last night, just because I know that episode review is going to be a bit on the lengthy side, but the preview for next week looks pretty dang good. Just going through the notes here, it seems like, you know, Oliver is telling Charles that it's getting worse, and I'm assuming this is in regards to whatever story or what kind of evidence that Lisa is going to put out from the I believe it was like Time magazine. And basically, you know, Charles gets on the phone with Landon, and I don't think we're going to see Landon for a little bit. I mean, I don't know if that's confirmed, but it just seems that Oliver is kind of filling in the Landon position at the moment. And, you know, Landon's, you know, doing last minute things, trying to secure Candace as someone being able to go into the White House with Charles, because it seems like, you know, Kyle and Scott are definitely getting more I believe the political term is called mudslinging, but in this case it seems like more like manure, because Candace has a lot of shit that she's left behind. And basically Landon is being threatened by his job by Charles, saying like, you know what, if this story comes out and you can't spin it, you're fired. Which I think is completely unreasonable, because I think like Charles is acting on his emotions rather than being rational. So it's kind of the flip of, you know, Madison acting on his emotions by not getting the correct information about Jeffrey's fate, and then that led to him being fired by David. Then you have this situation where Charles is acting on his emotions instead of thinking logically, because Landon is doing what he can, but this situation is too big for him to handle, most likely, and then his job is being threatened as a result. See what I mean there? But after that, we have Justin being brought into custody, and Veronica's there just gloating about it, and we see her make that exchange with that one black guy with like the gray spot in his hair. You know, we can assume that line of guys are the 5 or 4 other guys that he got arrested along with himself to quote unquote rape and or maim Justin in jail, because we finally see him roughed up, and I'm pretty sure we're all waiting to see that go down. I'm excited about that, but I think I'm more excited about the Jim and Benny fight, so that's going to be coming soon. After that, you know, speaking to Jim, Catherine's yelling at Jim not to go over to the house to, you know, go after Hannah and Benny, but it's like, I'm going to handle this my way. We're just going to wait and see what happens with that. I'm assuming he gets a phone call from Lloyd that the money isn't there. And I wonder, and I'm just speculating here, I wonder if Lloyd's going to meet with Hannah and Benny next week. I would like that to happen, but we'll just have to wait and see. David warns Jeffrey about Justin, and it's just the same old song over and over again. Maybe death is better than being part of this family. So David's like, I'm at odds with your mother, and I'm tempted to take the law into my own hands. Well, then do it. I don't want to do a Jeffrey rant. I just hope that this scene goes somewhere. That's it. And plus, Justin is in jail, so we will have to see what happens with that. Like, you know, if Justin does manage to get one phone call, what he called Jeffrey, pretty much like after David sent those 3 guys to beat him up, then he called Jeffrey to let him know his dad did this to him. If Justin does get that one phone call, will he call Jeffrey and say, your mom did this to me? I pray that is not the case, but we'll have to wait and see. Let's see here. Then after that, Scott is tricking RK. You know, RK is like, take your clothes off. Oh, no, you take your clothes off. And we can pretty much assume neither one of them takes their clothes off, because later on we see RK running down the damn hallway being chased by the FBI fully clothed. So I'm wondering, this is just pure speculation here, do you think that RK might take Scott up to the room sooner than 1 hour? Because remember, Scott said, or was it RK that said, we can arrange for this in 1 hour with me, Rocky, and then that one girl in the black dress who isn't even part of the, the prostitution ring, just a random woman. So RK might get too greedy, and then as a result try to get things going with Scott himself, and then as a result he gets busted by the feds. And I could see that happening because RK is like Icarus flying too close to the sun. Speaking of FBI, we see the FBI, and I did not catch this until I tried to get the screenshots this morning. Veronica is going back into her house after leaving the police station, I assume. It seems like the FBI, two agents, walk into the house now. Are they walking into the house because they have evidence to have her arrested? Or are they following her because, you know what, it has to do with Scott getting information about Candace Young, and given the fact that Kyle and Scott looked over all the photos and camera stuff, they could have seen that Veronica and Candace had a couple of meetings at the Artesian Hotel just sitting together and drinking. So I don't know. Or maybe the FBI catches RK, then RK spills the beans about Veronica or something, and then gets her arrested. I don't know, but I'm very interested to see how this is going to happen, especially with the fact that it seems like the FBI goes into Veronica's house without her permission, because she just turns around like, wait, what's going on? So we'll have to wait and see there. Hannah's assuming that either Benny and or Candace has something to do with the money missing from the account. The teller saying the money originally came from the Crier Company, and if you don't remember, that was the name of the bank account that Veronica had Lloyd set up for Candace Young back during their temporary alliance. So that was an account that Candace had Veronica set up at the bank for her via Lloyd. That way, when she got the account numbers and whatnot from Oscar's computer, the inheritance money would be forwarded to her account. And then that's when she took that money and then moved it to the joint bank account without knowing it was Benny and Hannah's bank account. So I don't know how deep we're going to get into this and see where the money went, but that's going to be its own video, which I've already done 2 videos on the account, but I got to do another one. And we do see a brief scene where Candace is kind of looking at a laptop, a bit concerned. So does this mean she took the money and she's looking at her account? But I hope that's not the case. Because, I mean, how in the world would she have gotten the money back? Because the big thing was she sent Malik in order to rough up Hannah to get her to sign the paperwork. So it seems that she wouldn't be able to get the money back on her own accord. At least that's what I'm thinking. So this might be my, you know, just me trying to figure things out the best way I can. But I think that perhaps Candace is on her laptop and then she sees the story that Lisa put out about her. And then when things seem to be going well between her and Charles, she's looking at the computer and guess what? Her past is there to smack her in the face. And I think originally when I did a trailer breakdown in April, I said that perhaps maybe she gets on the computer, she looks up all the information on Charles that he kept telling her to actually look up. And then it's like, oh my God, who is this man that I'm with right now? But I'm more, if I were to kind of rank it, I would say that the number one thing that she could be seeing on the computer right now is the news reports about everything that, you know, the media has been saying about her since she was spotted at the White House. Number 2 could be her, you know, looking up information about Charles. And number 3 is the bank account. I'm not 100% sure, but we'll just have to wait and see. But I'm really excited because this episode and the upcoming preview has my brain just in overdrive right now. Let's see. Yeah, and then the narrator says, is it all really forgiven? Kind of in between the scenes of the bank teller talking about the Crier Company and Candace looking at the computer. And then, you know, Hannah suspecting Candace is behind this. So does Hannah really forgive Candace? I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see about that. I mean, that's going to be its own video because I don't want this video to be super long here. Wyatt is high. Jim C's like, what the hell did you do? I mean, he kind of complained to RK about, you know, the drugs. Like, wait, is this it? Well, to be somewhat fair, you know, it was never agreed upon how much RK would get in terms of the drugs. Not to mention, you didn't even say how much you were going to pay him. Then on top of that, you didn't even have any money. So you gave him a $6,000 watch that your mom had. So you complaining about how much drugs were in the bag is, well, it doesn't really matter because you're the one that lied. But on top of that, you know, you have to think of it this way. We don't know what was in that bag. I mean, we didn't get RK saying that, look, that's a little amount, but it's some strong stuff. So I'm guessing that it's probably like standard drugs, I guess is the best way to put it. I really don't know the correct terms. So, you know, if he got busted, he wouldn't want to be found like a huge amount of drugs on him. But at the same time, you know, that's an interestingly nice neighborhood for, you know, a young black kid like RK to be driving around an expensive car like that, $250,000 car, and not get pulled over. Very interesting. I don't want to be that guy, but I want to be that guy right now. So, yeah, it seems like Y looks pretty messed up. And let's see, we already talked about the FBI with RK and Veronica and talked about David. So I think that about does it. I think that we pretty much covered everything there is to talk about in the episode on the edge. I mean, guys, like I will get more into this in my episode review, but I enjoyed last night's episode. Wasn't perfect, but it did get my brain going because there's a lot of things to speculate. Who took the money from Hannah and Benny's account? What about Jim's account? How does he only have $3,400 when he should have $10 million? And we'll just have to wait and see. It's some very interesting stuff. But on top of that, you know, we're about to hit, I think we're a little less than 200 away from 81,000 subscribers. So if you're new to the channel, please take a moment and hit that subscribe button. And everyone, be sure to give this video a thumbs up by clicking the like button. Tell me what you thought about the episode preview for next week on The Edge, and I'll talk to you all soon. Congratulations on making it to the end of this video. If you like what you just saw, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, or if you have anything you would like to add to the video, make sure to leave your thoughts in the comment section below. If you want to keep up with me on social media, go to the description box. All of my links for social media are right there. Also, if you feel like you would like to donate to the channel, make sure to click on the link to PayPal. Any amount helps. $1, $5, $20. As a full-time YouTuber, any support from my fans really does mean a lot to me. Finally, make sure to hit the subscribe button as well as the bell notification icon. That way you're kept up to date on any new content I post to the channel. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll talk to you in the next video.